Hey guys, National Master James Canty III here, and today we have another puzzle. Puzzles are awesome. This is going to be fun. I hope you enjoy it. And before we get started though, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right under the video so you can get more content like this. Make sure you follow Super Nezzy on all of the social medias, which is Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. So we're going to check this puzzle out. Let's get the back history on it. What this is called Plaskett's puzzle. Very fun, very awesome. Going to learn some things here, and it's a very remarkable puzzle, something you've never seen before. If you have seen this before, then you know what it is. If you haven't, make sure you pause the video so that you can actually see kind of what this is and see if you can actually get this correct. So this is Plaskett's puzzle. It was composed by a Dutch chess player named Gijs Van Breukelen. So Dutch composer. He created this puzzle, and it was actually opened up to the world by Grandmaster James Plaskett in 1987 at Brussels tournament. In 1987, it was a Super GM tournament with Garry Kasparov was there, Karpov, Korchnoi, Tahl, Jan Timman, Nigel Short, young men at the time. It was a super tournament. Also, it was historic just because Chess Base was there as well. It was actually the first installment of Chess Base where Tahl actually put in his games at the tournament. It was pretty cool. So getting into this puzzle, let's get right into it and see what's going on. Let's look at some options here. Hopefully you have some time to take a look at this puzzle to see what's going on. What should you do? And we're going to actually find a solution at the end here. Pretty cool stuff. But let me tell you about what happened with this tournament, or with this puzzle. So this is presented at the tournament, the Super GM tournament, right? All the GMs are there. Garry Kasparov, Korchnoi, Tahl. Tahl takes a look at this puzzle. So check this out. The man himself, the magician from Riga, he takes a look at this puzzle for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, unsuccessful every single time. Could not get it, unsuccessful. So he leaves. They have a break. He leaves for about an hour, comes back to the studio where they all work, and he gets it, and he finds the idea. Tahl was the only one that was able to solve this puzzle. So once we get to the solution and you're like, wow, and we just blow your mind once you see this puzzle, then you just imagine Tahl was able to figure this out after an hour of just taking a walk. He went to take a walk to get some fresh air, came back an hour later with this answer. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what's going on. Plaskett's puzzle. What is this about? What is this about? Mr. Breukelen made this back in the day. Dutch composer. Let's see what he has with this whole position. It's white to move. So white to move here, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's try a few tries here. Now, if you tried D8 Queen, let's see why it's wrong. So D8 Queen is an easy move to make. White's going to Queen here. We're going to Queen, but what's wrong? Knight f7. Knight f7 is check. So after Knight f7, we check, and we actually get forked right here on these two squares. But let's see. Let's play on. What happens? Why is it? I mean, maybe we can mate with the knight, bishop, and king. But you have to know you're in the wrong corner to try to do that. So you usually want to checkmate in this corner because you have the bishop to do it. But because you're in this corner, I can probably get up. So I'll move my king over to d2. Knight takes the queen. Knight f6 check. Hopefully he stays around here somewhere or something. Let's see what we do. King g6, that is a move. King g6, and then we check him again. Hopefully we can get a checkmate somehow, some way. It's just not going to happen, especially backing up here. I could also move forward if I really needed to. And there's just no hope here. There's no hope. We check him again. They go back to g8. We can check him as much as we want to. Hopefully we can get a perpetual check and draw this game, but it just won't happen after king h8. There's not enough time to do anything else, and after a few moves here, it could be over. Bishop to d1, maybe take this. Bishop d1 stops the queen. I'm going to push, and if you play bishop to d1, if after bishop to d1, I can just move with check again and start swinging my pieces around. I'm going to queen quickly. It's over for white here. It's not looking good. So it looks like queen does not work. So that is one of the moves that we have to consider is queening. So if you try to queen here, that did not work. Let's try another move. Let's try maybe bishop to c2 check. Bishop c2 check seems very logical here. It's a check, and we can also try to queen, but we have to move our king and figure out what we can do around this situation to try to win. So after bishop c2 check, let's go like king g7. We also have to watch out for checks and queens myself. So with the white pieces here, after king g7, what do? I'm trying to queen this pawn. So let's try to go king here. Because again, if we queen here, guys, Knight f7 check, and we're just losing with the white pieces. So king here, just to try to queen. But we also have a check. Look at that. That check comes out of nowhere. King has to move somewhere. And then maybe we can actually just play bishop a5. Bishop a5 and defend this easily. So after he queens, bishop takes, king takes, and you can't stop my queen right here. And that's losing as well. So looks like that doesn't work. Bishop c2 check. Well, what else do we do? How about king d2 now? King d2 now. These are all the tries that you have to look at. Knight e6 or knight f7 doesn't work. We just take it, so we should be winning. But again, this bishop a5 move is really, really annoying. Really, really annoying when you're playing with the white pieces, trying to figure something out here. This is why you always fight on, because black looks like they're up so much material, which they are actually. And white's able to come up with something very spectacular here. Bishop a5, we can queen. Bishop takes, queen takes, and then amazing, actually, maybe here. Here is not actually the move because you have the check, but black should be able to win this quite easy. Actually, knight b4 should do the job, and then we're actually queening. Yep, we're queening and we're losing this one as well. So that doesn't work either. So what do we do? What do we do? If you tried the queen, didn't work. Not working. Bishop c2 check, calculated, not working. Well, let's see what else we have here. I think that if you try knight f6 check, you are correct. So let's see how we follow up though. Knight f6 check. We're going to roll with that. Knight f6 check. We got two king moves here, guys. Two king moves. If we go king g6, I'll wait right now and pause the video here and see if you can find the move that wins here. After king to g6, what happens? What happens? What is the winning move here? The winning move, guys, is bishop h5 check. Bishop h5 check. Very nice. What does this move do? After bishop h5 check, he has king f7 or king g7. So if we step into f7, well, what is this bishop move about? What it's really about is, remember, we could never queen. So if we can now get the queen in, then the knight can't get to f7, and the bishop can just take it when it gets there. If he goes king f7, I queen here. And if we go king to g7, it's the same thing. We get the queen. So now we get the queen, and there we're not giving it back on the next move. So king g6 just doesn't work. Okay, how about king h8? Well, it's a problem. I'm actually queening with check now, so that's not going to be fun at all. So the only move you can make is actually king to g7. Only move on the board. Only move on the board. So now what's the follow-up here? How do we proceed? Well, white plays knight to h5. Knight h5 check. So now we're at a dilemma with the black pieces here. What should we do? Well, if we go king h7, well, then we just go back with a perpetual check. We'll just do the exact same thing, actually. It's go back with the perpetual check. Or, you know, even better here is bishop check here. That hurts even worse. King here, and I have a queen on the back rank, so you can't even do that. So you are forced to go a certain area. You are forced to go king to g6 in this position. But knight h5 and then king g6. Now after king to g6, we have to figure out what to do with the white pieces here. What would you do now? This is not an easy puzzle, as we all know. After king to g6, what do you do now? We still cannot queen. We still cannot queen. And this move right here is such a beautiful move, to say the least. After king to g6, what do you do with the white pieces? After we look at it, bishop to c2 check. Whoa. Bishop c2 check, hitting the king. The knight is out here hanging. And the black king has to take it. If you look at this, guys, the black king has to take it. Because if you step back, I'm just going to queen. And now if I queen here, there is no knight f7 check because the king blocks it. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Bishop c2 check. I can't go backwards. Of course, I'm still on the diagonal. Can't go forward. Same thing. Knight's covering both squares here. And king f7, I'm queening. So I have to take it. But it looks like black's just fine, right? Hey, totally fine. What is this? King takes h5. I mean, there's a bishop, king, pawn versus all of black's army. This should be absolutely winning, is what black thinks, actually. King takes h5. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. After king takes h5, now we queen. What? How does this even work? It looks like you're just giving up the queen. Why not? It shouldn't work. It didn't work before. Why is it working now? Well, let's see. It's all about this king over here in the corner. Let's see what's happening. Knight f7 check. Now he's getting a fork. We're going to pick up the queen next move. We have to with the black pieces here, or else we're just going to be down a queen and get checkmated very soon. So king steps over here to e6. This is very important. Very important that we step here because we need this move to get closer to the king. If we do king e7, we may be in trouble because we let the king step out or do anything else, actually. King e7 will give me an extra move to get to the square I need to get to. So king to e6, knight takes d8, and then king to f5. The king is now boxed out. Look at this, amazing. How did we get here? You can check this out even in the beginning. Let's look at it again just to see how dynamic that was. We started with knight, we started with knight f6 check right here. King is kind of forced to go in the sequence that he went into with king to g7, knight h5, and king to g6, if he's trying to win. Which bishop c2, this is probably the move he didn't calculate, as after king takes h5, queen on the board, check, king to e6, actually. Knight takes d8, king f5. Now the king is trapped. There's a check here. There's a check, and that's actually checkmate. So what's going to happen now? e2. e2, just to stop me from checkmating. So what do I do? Well, all I need to do is get a bishop check. If I get a bishop check, I win the game. So let's see where the bishop goes. Let's see if you can find the idea here. Bishop to e4. Where am I going? Bishop f3, checkmate. So what would you do with the black pieces here? How do you stop the checkmate? You don't have a check on the board. Well, I can promote and make it a knight. Under promotion saves the day. So the bishop is not able to checkmate anymore. Black needs to get a move or two off, two moves in a row, hopefully, that we can get with the black pieces so the king doesn't get checkmated, because we don't have any squares to go to, as the king is in a perfect spot and the pawn takes off the other squares and the bishop just needs to come in for the deliver the checkmate. So we put the bishop here. What's this move about? We can't check him here, can't check him here, but if we can move this bishop to maybe a safer or another diagonal, we maybe could checkmate here. So that's the idea here. So we push this pawn. Let's see if we can get a queen. Finally, can we get a queen? And white says, not yet. You cannot get a queen just yet. So what do we do with the black pieces? Well, we stopped this bishop before, so let's stop him again. Under promotion, at this time, there are 4 knights on the board of the same color. Have you ever seen anything like it? So this is very nice. This knight is actually defending his bishop. Bishop goes to another square now, hitting this check and this check, with both of these being checkmate on the move. And actually, this bishop is a monstrous piece. You have to stop this right now. It has to be stopped. The only move on the board that does stop it is knight to c7, doing the same thing that the other knights do on the other side of the board, covering the squares. So this is the winning move here. Can you find it? It's on the board, guys. Can you find it? Pause the video real quick. I'll give you a few seconds to try to find this move. Knight to c7. Where do we move with the white piece? And if you said bishop to a4, you are correct, hitting bishop d1 with checkmate, unstoppable at this point. Knight to e2, because that's kind of the only thing we can do. Bishop d1, knight c6. At this point, there is no way to stop the checkmate that comes. That was wild. I think this was one of my favorite puzzles. When I first saw this, I saw this on an app before. Many years ago, actually, and I saw this and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. And when I was able to do this puzzle for you guys today, I was like, I remember this. Everyone needs to see this. This is so awesome. So hopefully you have fun watching this today. Let's look at this one more time to see what happens. D8 queen does not work on the first move because we're going to be forked. Bishop check doesn't work because the king just steps off, and we have issues actually even queening at that point. So it's all about how you do this and the timing and etc. Timing has to be correct. So knight f6 again to get the king into where we kind of want him. King g6 loses again to bishop check, and we queen. So he goes king g7. Knight h5 check, beautiful move. If he goes king here, then we actually win with bishop to c2 check and queening on the back rank with check. Tough stuff there. King f8, anything on the back rank is another queen. So pretty tough stuff. He has to go king to g6, keeping this threat alive of this here. Bishop c2 check, that's a star move. Unbelievable to see this. And then after king takes, sacrificing a whole knight here, we realize that the king is short on spaces. He can only go here. So if we get our king here, and this is just looking ahead, we can probably checkmate. Very hard to find that. Queen on the board. The knight checks as he should. Only thing you should be doing. King here and king here. Closing off the king. Checkmate is coming. So we push it and stop it. Then we go for another checkmate here. Just trying to dance around the king as much as we can. Knight here. actually promote the stopping the bishop from checking on f3. Then we go bishop to d5 just to swing around to c4 for mate on e2. So it's pushed again, and then we have bishop to c4. Beautiful move with bishop e2 being checkmate on the move. Then we have another knight. Once again, 4 knights are on the board. Unbelievable to ever see a kind of position like this or even consider something like this. And you have to remember, Tahl actually saw this. He got this correct after an hour of thinking about this puzzle. So pretty awesome stuff to even see. So the knight covers the bishop square here. And then bishop to b5, followed by bishop to e8, checkmate on the back rank back there. And then knight to c7, hitting the bishop, stopping bishop e8, checkmate. And the last move, bishop a4 for the dagger of bishop d1 with checkmate on the move at the bottom back there. So 92 was forced. Once again, 92 was forced. There's nothing else to do. The bishop can't go anywhere. So we play bishop to d1 followed by knight to f3. Bishop takes. Knights can move nowhere. Bishops can do nothing. Knights can move, but it doesn't matter because bishop takes is checkmate. So bishop takes f3 is checkmate, and that is Plaskett's puzzle. I think that was a pretty awesome thing for you guys to see today. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's pretty awesome. So again, I'm National Master James Canty III. Thanks so much for sticking around, guys. You can follow me on all my social medias at GM Canty, and of course for this channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right under the video, and check out all the other links as well. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.